Yo, what's going on, gamers? It's me, Daily Tactics here, and today we're gonna be doing another sequel trilogy video. I know it's a rare occurrence on this channel, but hey, I was vibing with it. So we're gonna be, forgetting about the Clone Wars for just a day. Don't worry, it'll be back tomorrow, boys. It'll be back tomorrow. So what we've got here is we've got a Resistance trench defense. They have a Vanguard trench up front here that will alert the rest of this massive trench system in the back that the First Order is coming. They have a massive infrastructure here. They have particle turrets. They have TX-130T tanks that they stole. They have more smaller dish turrets. They have E-Web turrets. They have soldiers coming out the wazoo. They have land speeders. They really got it all here. This is a gigantic defense. And the attackers also have a gigantic assault. So the First Order is going to be utilizing troop transports here. These are Imperial era troop transports that the First Order is using. I mean, a lot of First Order tech is either modified Imperial tech or, just straight up Imperial tech, so I think it makes sense. So they have troop transports as well as a few destroyer tanks here that are going to be charging forward against the Resistance trenches. It should be really, really cool, and I'm very excited to see this battle get underway. So if you guys enjoy the video, be sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be having a chonk giveaway at 200,000. And be sure to comment down below what your favorite sequel trilogy character is, I guess, and any videos you'd like to see in the future. Either way, let's get it going, boys. All right, boys, let's get into it here by going in slow-mo for the first bit of the battle. You can hear the troop transports off in the distance, moving through the forest, and it's only a matter of time before they start connecting with these trenches and really blowing some things up. It's going to be pretty crazy, I have a feeling. They're really slow-moving. Okay, let's bump it up a speed here. Let's bump it up a notch, boys. Come on. Let's go. I want to see some action. All right, there we go. I love the trees falling in the distance. Oh, and then there we go. Explosion of fire comes out as the battle gets underway. Whoa, almost immediately, the Vanguard trench here begins to get hit really, really hard by incoming fire. All of the particle turrets have been damaged and destroyed here. Not a good thing in the slightest. Yeah. These guys are getting absolutely rolled right now, dude. I mean, I knew the Vanguard was kind of a suicide, company to be in. These are the troopers who you put in the front so that they die first, and then you kind of get, a feel for the enemy or whatever. But, oh my god, this is a whole other thing. This is mass slaughter here. This is not even, putting up a fight. These poor soldiers were probably aware, in their mind, the recesses of their mind, they were probably like, okay, we're probably not going to make it very far in this battle. We're probably going to die pretty early. But this is a whole other level, They probably told themselves, oh, we'll definitely live. Don't worry. The Vanguard's just, it just means we're confident. It means we're the best of the best. It means we can hold off the enemy all by ourselves. But in the back of their mind, they're like, ugh, yikes, we're in the Vanguard. Either way, yeah, the troop transports are really slaughtering this Vanguard trench. It is getting decimated, boys. It is really, really getting decimated. Even some loose fire is hitting these trenches way back here. Wouldn't it suck if you were some random soldier in the way back and you weren't even part of the Vanguard and you just got hit by a random blaster bolt and died? Yikes, that would definitely suck, You think you're safe back there for at least a little while, and then you get hit hard, man. Whoa, did that troop transport just go nuts and kill a ton of soldiers? And then ram into another one? We got a rogue troop transport here, boys. Just ran over so many of its own men. What the heck is that, boys? What the heck is that? Oh my goodness. They have unloaded basically all of their infantry here, so they're free to just sort of cruise forward and join in the battle. They do have some light guns on their, front, but they're not super powerful. They can one-shot, I believe, but they're not, these all-powerful things that can wipe out an army. But they'll certainly support. They're definitely tank support at the very least. This one is getting hit hard by some sort of particle turret in the back here. Ooh, this second closest trench to the front lines is getting hit hard now by a ton of incoming fire from both those tank destroyers as well as the transport tanks. And yeah, they get slaughtered almost immediately going down. That is rough right there. All right, I think we should go into normal speed now as we watch. Luckily, the Resistance did put up a lot of these tank traps, so they're going to be able to catch a lot of these Imperial tanks as they come forward and hopefully stop them in their paths from continuing in on the battle here. Ooh, Particle Turret right there does end up going down. That is, of course, a very powerful weapon for the Resistance, and it goes down very early into the game. That leaves only one left, which is facing this way. What are you doing? And what's this E-Web turret doing? Face the front of the battlefield, bro! Oh, the stolen TX-130T does end up going down as well. Ooh, so does this one over here. Not a good look right now. The Imperials are, or well, the First Order are hitting them really hard. Oh, but the Resistance claps back by taking out one of these tank destroyers right there. BEA Beautiful. That's a pretty big victory. And also a lot of the infantry is getting caught up in a lot of fire and going down as well as they enter into sort of this no man's land area over here past the first trench line here, so that's good to see. And I think a lot of these troop transports that are being very powerful right now will cease their hostilities once they get stuck in these tank traps. So that should be a pretty primitive but effective solution for the Resistance to take care of them. But for now, the tanks are just covering fire for the infantry so hard, wiping out so many of these trenches. These things are getting absolutely beaten to smithereens. This is a brutal experience right now for the Resistance soldiers. This guy just hopped off his turret. Is it dead? Oh, it is dead. Wow. Oof. Oof, indeed. This is rough, man. Oh my god, this troop transport actually is navigating these tank traps very easily and managing to come very far forward here and pepper this bunker over this way, taking out a series of the Resistance soldiers over here. The Resistance does still have a good number of soldiers left alive, but they are ever dwindling as not only the troop transports come forward extremely hard hitting, but also the infantry now too. The infantry has just swept through no man's land. Wow. At the end of this battle, I think I might try this again, but by just like beefing up the Resistance defenses like times 10 maybe, just to see what happens in that terms. Maybe the troop transports here are just mega effective, dude. Like straight up, I think these things are actually doing a lot of damage. I thought their little guns on their fronts were not super powerful, but they're rolling right now. They are literally rolling this trench defense. It's very rare when a trench defense gets just blown to smithereens like this without like so many losses. I mean, the First Order is taking losses, but it's not as extreme as I would imagine, with such a tight defense here. It is absolutely crazy. Yeah, the Resistance has just a few soldiers left resisting. And, yeah, they're probably going to die pretty soon here. One of the biggest challenges is just navigating the, barbed wire and all of the tank traps for the First Order. Other than that, like I said before, they be rolling, though. They really do be rolling. Holy cow. It is absolutely insane what's going on. Oh, look, the troop transports got all the way back here. It looks like this one did get shot to bits and ended up dying, but it takes a lot to destroy these things, apparently. Oh, there's probably the rocket trooper right there that did it for the Resistance. Wowza, indeed, dude. Oh, a couple of rockets getting launched over here at the infantry, choosing not to even bother with the troop transports, but go straight for the infantry here. Hey, I can't blame them, man. Probably get more kills that way than going after the troop transports. But, troop transports are probably a little bit more valuable, so there's that. Yeah, these tank traps, I thought this would be like a maze, but nah. These boys just sort of gutted through them. Well, I guess there's like a direct path right here that I didn't even realize about. Oof. Oof, boys. It's tough out here. It is tough. Here we go. First Order troopers. Oh, they took a lot of losses right here against this barbed wire. At least the Resistance is getting some more kills, That's good. They're not down for the count yet, and they're fighters. They're fighters. It's the whole point of being in the Resistance. Is you gotta be tough. You gotta be, up to the task of being down for the count, man. Oh, that guy just got double whammied right there. Yeah, this is the end of the Resistance defense. Sadly, they have just a very few number of troopers left alive here. You got a few infantrymen over here who just get slaughtered, and then a last little group over this way that's getting flanked from behind. Yikes! Yikes indeed. Alright, well, once these guys die, let's run it back again, and I will bolster the Resistance defenses like tenfold, and maybe that'll make for a bit more of an eventful battle. That could be kind of cool. I think it's worth doing. Yeah, these last few remaining troopers are getting flanked here, and the troop transports are slaughtering them. They're slaughtering them. This is brutal, man. I didn't realize troop transports were so powerful. It's nutso. Well, they're struggling with these few guys. But here comes the First Order infantry. Oh, that one just slaughtered all of them. Okay, there's two resistance troopers left. They're still firing away. I mean, good on them for, keeping up the fight, but they did end up dying. So let's check out the losses here real quick. Yellow are dead resistance soldiers, though many of their bodies have exploded, and red are dead First Order soldiers. This was a brutal battle, man. This was a slaughter. All right, let's run it again, but with tighter defenses. Okay, Okay, guys, I bolstered the ranks of the resistance fighters here. Now they have a ton of TX-130Ts, a ton of particle turrets, and a ton of dish turrets. They're going to dish out some pain. All right, let's go ahead and press start here. The Vanguard, I'm sorry, guys, but I did not bolster your ranks at all. Y'all have to deal with what you got, because you got 3 dish turrets to begin with. I think you'll be okay. But I am curious to see if, an increased defensive presence in the backlines will help at all, because I mean, this is extreme. This is an extreme defense that I feel like any other vehicle would be toppled against. I mean, there's so many anti-tank weapons back here. Look at this field of anti-tank weapons. It's insane. I don't see how they could lose this. And boom, they do start firing out a little bit here. We're getting some fire out. A lot of the anti-tank weapons are getting rolled right now by those troop transport turrets, but they got a lot of them this time, and they have already taken out 1 troop transport right there. So that's a promising sign. Way faster than the previous defense managed to. I think it could be still a tight race here, as lots of tanks already blowing up, lots of particle turrets already losing their gunners. This is an extreme measure that the resistance is taking here. One of the tank destroyers does end up going down, and the second one is probably well underway to go down here. But I'm not so worried about those. I mean, those are powerful weapons, but they're able to be dealt with. It's the troop transports that I didn't even realize are unbelievably powerful. I mean, but when we use the Imperials with them, I felt like they weren't this powerful. I feel like the Rebels were actually able to deal with those. I don't know what it is about these ones, but they are crazy powerful. There goes the second tank destroyer right there. BEA, beautiful boys. But there are still a lot of troop transports left alive, and this tank destroyer right here is still at least somewhat capable of, firing. Oh, there we go. It just lost its top gunner. I think its crew became concussed for a little bit there at the very least. All right, well, this front line has gone down once again for the resistance soldiers. They do still have a few guns inside of it, but the back line is still very intact and still managing to fire out quite a bit. So, perhaps this is still manageable. Perhaps this is still doable. It looks like this tank is dead. This tank is dead. This tank is dead. These two are still functioning, and this one is still functioning. So a lot of the troop transports are also going down. Ooh, this one on the flank is still functioning as well. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Hull destroyed on this one up here. That means it is down for the count. Final tank destroyer, though, still alive and still kicking, still managing to get a lot of fire out. Oh, this TX-130T this time around is actually, managing to stay alive for a little bit longer than before. Last time, that thing went down almost instantly. And there it goes. It exploded. These two turrets still managing to survive. A lot of the infantry also still alive, whereas in the last one, they were the first to go. But I think with the increased number of turrets, the infantry is almost like a second thought for the First Order. They'd rather take out the most powerful units first and then go for the infantry. You know what I'm saying, boys? And the First Order infantry is taking a wallop this time around. They are far less in numbers than in the first battle. Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, it's a tight race. I think the resistance might be able to win it this time, though. Just maybe. Oh no, these two turrets over here went down. Those two are still alive. That one's dead. This one's alive. This TX-130T is alive. These 3 are still alive. Oh! The daily curse strikes again! These 2 are alive. Okay. Okay. Numbers are thinning, but it's manageable, boys. That's all I'm saying. It's possible. We might have this in the bag. Who knows, boyos? Who knows? It's mainly up to the infantry, it seems, this time around. For the First Order. Last time, the infantry, it helped, but it really didn't end up doing all that much. in the long run, but this time around, most of the troop transports are incapacitated or, you know, completely destroyed, so it might be all up to the infantry. But it really only does take one troop transport to really roll the enemy, and this one is on a mean path to flank right now. Does it get caught on a take trap here? No, it's still good. It's just taking some time to itself to fire out and get some kills, and it does take out that turret. The gunner had to hop off, so that means the turret was struck in a critical way. The trench back here is taking some fire, and a few of its troopers are dead. This bunker is completely dead. This bunker is still alive, though. Wow. This is an intense battle, boys. The intensity, it's palpable. Ooh, the troop transport over here does get shot to smithereens and is down for the count now. Big news. Big. Love it. Oh, got some flippy flips over here. More troop transports enter into the battlefield, though. The last two remaining, actually. And this tank destroyer might still be alive, but I don't think it must be broken in some way because it's not moving at all. Wow, lots of infantry for the First Order is collapsing. They have a big push going on the far right over here, but I have a feeling once they round up over that hill, they're going to be connected with this TX-130T and take a lot of fire. I thought I saw this particle turret move. Maybe it was just hit by something, and that's why it moved a little bit or something along those lines. Oh, infantry getting right up in the face of this trench. Managing to pull off a couple of kills there. All right, you know, I think the Resistance could potentially win this thing overall. I think this might be theirs to win, unlike the first one where it was an abuse of First Order power. That was insane. That went against all of the conventions of war. Not really, it didn't at all, but I'm just saying that for dramatic effect, of course. I'm an entertainer. I must entertain with drama and inflection on my words. I don't know what I'm going on about, boys. I've been doing this juice cleanse thing. I mentioned it in the XCOM video, but basically I've been only drinking juice during the day until it hits 6 p.m. and then I have a light dinner, and then I rinse and repeat for a few days. And I'm actually finally ending it today, which is good. I feel good. Like, I feel like my gut has sort of been cleansed, you know? My stomach feels better. I feel less sort of like, I don't know, I feel less, you know, foggy, I guess would be the words. Like my brain feels, or maybe it's the lack of food and I'm just feeling lightheaded, but I feel like, you know, able to think a little bit more clear and things like that. I'm glad I did it, you know, but I don't know if I'd ever do it again, you know. The benefits I don't think outweigh the cons. You know, I just feel like I get pretty bad headaches from not eating food all day, you know, and you know, my stomach obviously hungers profusely. But you know, it's been an interesting experiment. I like to do weird experiments like this. Like, you know, I've done things where like I run a mile every day for a month just to see sort of what happens and things like that. And I'll do like, you know, weird diet stuff. I just find it kind of interesting. Like I've tried intermittent fasting a few times and stuff like that. I just like to see, you know, how it changes me and if I'd like to, you know, pick it up in my regular life. And I think what I'll do after this whole thing is over is I'll probably pick up intermittent fasting again, because that's essentially what this is to an extreme, you know. Because I found I couldn't go without eating all day. Like, I needed the light dinner. Or else I would just feel so achy and be, you know, have such a headache and things like that and be so irritable. So, I needed the light dinner. So, I think I might do, you know, a less extreme intermittent fasting where, like, I don't eat until, like, 1 and then I stop eating at, like, 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or something like that. Just because it makes me feel a little bit healthier and, I don't know, it helps me sort of control my intake and things like that, you know? I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I've never really talked about, but I find it interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it if you're young, obviously. I'd say, you know, if you're still growing, it's a really dangerous thing to do, but I stopped growing like 2 or 3 years ago, so, like, if you're, yeah, in developmental stages in your life, it's not something you should mess with. You should go about life normally. Or else you could seriously mess up your systems and things like that, or stunt your growth and things. But, you know, if you're mid-20s, I guess even early 20s, which is what I am, I'm 21, then, I don't know, it's kind of fun to experiment with things like that. And, of course, you know, in moderation. Don't take things to the extreme. Bulimia is not cool, boys. Don't do that. That's bad for you. All right. Well, the First Order is really broken. They're down to just infantry, and not a lot of infantry at that. Why don't we go ahead and squad them up? You know, we'll do the squad rule for the First Order here, so they can work together. I think these tanks back here are basically incapacitated, and they're not able to come forward anymore, so they are not going to be helpful at all. I do have a bit more of a push over here on this far right trench. Oh, more rockets hitting over here. Oh, jeez. And something else I wanted to do recently was switch up my content on YouTube a little bit. I think I might start like a weekly fan Q&A kind of a series. I know some YouTubers like M&R Productions do it. A few other Battlefield YouTubers that I watch do it, like Matamu, although sorry, it's Matimio, not Matamu. I always call it Matamu in my head because I think it's funny. Matimio, who's actually more of a Rainbow Six Siege YouTuber now, but he used to cover a lot of Battlefield. He does a weekly mailbox sort of a thing where you just answer questions that the community might have about certain things, and I like that idea. I think it's kind of cool, and so mine will likely be Star Wars related or video game and movie related, you know, whatever. But I feel like it'll be a good way to switch up the content at least once a week. I've also enjoyed the fan mail unboxing. That's a good way to switch up the content, but you know, you get kind of tired of doing the same thing over and over again, so adding other little samples of things makes things fun, you know? And I'm still loving my time on YouTube, and I've loved the addition of Legos, and it sort of rebirthed my love for Men of War 2, because like spending my time doing other things makes me appreciate the things I used to do a lot more, you know? So I'm still in love with Men of War, and I love doing battles like this and stuff like that. Speaking of the battle, enough of me rambling. I don't know why I'm in rambling mode today, but I just am. I think we're going to launch a final assault here for the First Order. They're down to the point where they don't have enough troopers really to win this battle, so we might as well send in the last of the troopers that they do have, so that they'll actually go down fighting and not slowly trickle in and die. So like one last hoorah here for the First Order, and they're launching a pretty good assault here. They're getting some kills against the resistance. They're getting some grenades off, but overall, like I said, their forces just aren't strong enough to make this thing happen. All right, last like 10 First Order troopers here. Yeah, like not even 10. Launch the assault. Go! Get into the trenches, boys. No, they're gonna get slaughtered before they make it. Oh! They made it! These two mad lads! Oh, they got shot in the trenches. Okay. Either way, that's going to be about it for today's video. The first time, the First Order won in a sweeping victory, and the second time, the First Order lost. But just barely, I would say, honestly. Because the Resistance has only this back trench and part of this back trench left alive, and they had to expend so many turrets to actually win this battle, so pretty crazy stuff. Either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below who you think was the real victor in this whole thing. Subscribe if you haven't already. Only 30% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, and be sure to like the video if you did enjoy. Dislike if you didn't enjoy it. Totally up to you. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.